No wonder that buildings and homes account for almost 50% of energy consumption in the United States. And globally, buildings and homes account for about 40% of greenhouse gas emissions. That's why we invest so much in insulation technologies. Energy efficiency and conservation are the lowest and the lowest low-hanging fruits. And we know that they are the most cost-efficient, immediate approach to overall CO2 abatement is making sure that our homes and offices are well insulated. Today's Dow styrofoam insulation products, the blue boards that you see here on the slide, are produced with foaming agents which contain no VOCs, no HCFCs, no CFCs, and they help reduce energy bills by about $10 billion every year in hundreds of communities worldwide. That's a great example of profitable, sustainable, mainstream business innovation on a large scale. But an important part of the sustainability of business is also integrating community initiatives into our business model. And I can't think of a better example than last year's Retrofit Philly Coolest Block Contest, a partnership between the City of Philadelphia, Dow, and the Energy Coordinating Agency of Philadelphia. Our goal was to educate homeowners about reducing their utility bills while at the same time making their homes more comfortable. It also had an added emphasis on preserving the historic residential blocks that make many Philadelphia neighborhoods so unique. This was a contest for free retrofitting materials and labor, and one of the key features was bringing neighborhoods together. To enter and win, city blocks had to participate as a group. It was absolutely amazing to see how neighbors bonded together at this occasion. The winner was the 1200 block of Wolf Street in South Philly. Dow donated the insulation material and air sealing products to fill the cracks I was talking about, while the Energy Coordinating Agency provided the installation service and the cool roofing coatings. The educational promotional effort benefits the entire Philadelphia community by raising awareness of how much money can be saved with a very simple energy retrofit. Do we hope this spurs sales of Dow insulation and cool roofing products? Sure, of course. But we are in the business after all, and we must do well to be able to do good. But we know that this is good for Philadelphia too, because more insulation and more cool roofs will reduce local energy consumption and mitigate extra summer heat caused by urban heat islands. Lawrence Berkeley National Labs has calculated that if every flat roof in Philadelphia was a cool roof, it would save $3 million in energy bills, and that study was conducted in 1997 with the energy prices of the time, so you can imagine what it could be today. Efforts like this, programs that integrate sustainability directly into our business models, are imperative if we want to make any progress in securing a sustainable energy future for us. It's an urgent challenge, but not the only one. And another great challenge of our day, where I can believe we can significantly improve communities worldwide, is provided clean water to the millions of people who do not have it. Think about this. 1.5 million people die annually because of water-related illnesses. 1.5 million people. That's roughly the entire population of Philadelphia, wiped out every year because they don't get access to clean water. Unless we make real progress now, the situation won't get much better. The global population is expected to go from 6.6 billion people today to 8 billion people in the next 25 years, and possibly 10 billion people in 2050. This means that even within the next 5 years, 5 billion people will live in areas of significant water stress. 5 out of 7 in 5 years from now. As Philadelphia-owned Benjamin Franklin said, when the well is dry, we will know the worth of water. Sustainable water management is a global imperative. In a real sense, it's also an enormous sustainable business challenge affecting thousands of communities around the world, including the communities where Dow is based. And thanks to the triple bottom line mentality, we have worked hard at each of our local plants and in our local communities to do our part. Since 2005, for example, we have reduced our water usage by 183 billion pounds, roughly equal to the water usage of 170,000 American homes for a year. And at our Freeport plant in Texas, we partnered with Nalco, a water treatment company, to implement water reduction programs and cost-saving technology that saves us and the Freeport community over 1 billion gallons of water every year. It also saves Dow about $4 million a year in maintenance and servicing, partly by using seawater for cooling operations. And at our Terneuzen plant in the Netherlands, Dow partnered with the local government, the water board, and the water utility to turn community wastewater into energy. We accept 10,000 cubic meters of treated municipal wastewater every day and reuse it twice. First in our manufacturing processes, and second as in our cooling towers. This reduces the energy needed for municipal water purification by 65% and decreases carbon dioxide emissions by 5,000 tons a year. That's a sustainable business solution for both Dow and the local community that addresses two large sustainability challenges: energy and water. We aren't abandoning efforts like this, far from it in fact, but we are moving beyond them by putting the business of sustainability into action. Dow is a major player in providing clean, affordable water to people around the world. Our filtration, purification, and separation technologies help produce millions of gallons of clean water every day, mostly in areas of significant water stress. And in the past 2 years alone, 40 large membrane seawater desalination plants have started up globally to produce more than 50,000 cubic meters a day of water, providing affordable drinking water to millions of people. Innovations in development will further reduce the cost, and that's what we're doing every day: reduce the cost of desalination water by improving the energy efficiency of reverse osmosis membranes. And our objective is to reduce that cost by 35% per year by 2015. So what's the impact from a business standpoint? Well, the global water industry adds up to a $500 billion market. The sustainable business scale doesn't get much bigger than that. And from a community standpoint, who doesn't want new technologies that deliver cleaner and less expensive water? But it's not all about products. We are also actively engaged with partners around the world to make clean water available where it's most needed. Dow has provided a small company called Water Health International with a $30 million loan guarantee and a great deal of functional capabilities to help finance 2,000 turnkey systems that will eventually supply clean water to more than 10 million people in rural India. A few years ago, we might have just written a check and would have said, go and do good. Today, under our integrated business of sustainability model, we are working closely with them to make sure that their work remains sustainable, scalable, and impactful. We don't make money from collaborations like this, but it's an important part of our business model. And don't misunderstand me, profit is important. Profit enables us to sustain our business, reward our shareholders, and reinvest for new solutions and new innovations. But corporations today cannot exist only for maximizing profit. And Henry Ford, about 100 years ago, said, "A business that makes nothing but money is a poor kind of business." And we believe very strongly in that. That's why it's imperative for us, as members of our communities, to embrace the business of sustainability, to integrate the need to meet and solve our greatest challenges for energy and water directly into our business models. And I fervently believe that this is the next big idea. The challenges of tomorrow are too big, are too complex for any one community or any one company to solve them on their own. We must begin embedding long-term sustainable solutions directly into the long-term vision of our companies, our organizations, and our communities. We must be dedicated to thinking beyond grants, beyond local initiatives, and beyond one-off projects as the only answers to our challenges. So does that mean an end to this kind of projects? Not at all. Dow envisions that it is an additive process, one that builds on our existing programs and initiatives and takes us further than we have gone before. In fact, I want to close my remarks by talking about one of these other initiatives. And it's a very base to all of our other challenges. It is critical if we get it right. I wish we could solve it with a new innovation in the lab or new scientific research, but we can't. The only way we're going to solve this one is through a lot of hard work, determination, and cooperation. And I'm talking about the need to increase the scientific literacy and understanding of our children. And let me ask here, would any one of you who has a child or a brother who is studying engineering raise your hand? That's the problem. That's the problem. Let me be clear. It requires fresh young minds to see the promise in a better and more sustainable world. There is no way this country will solve the problems of tomorrow unless our children know and understand the implications. And the only way they can do this is if we raise their knowledge levels.